GBC, y'all. Check it out. Y'all ready? Come on. Entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs. Check it out. Make a wish, and the dream comes true. If you
heard it, yeah? They had it. No.
Maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe at the event.
Check the hot spot. Entrepreneurial intelligence and skills. Here at GBC. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. Here at GBC.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Do it. Do it. 许愿之后，梦想就会实现。如果你相信，你就会有这种感觉。在中国的心脏，这条企业道路，梦想家和实践家，全部都热烈入驻。创业家 GBC。
See those photos, yeah?
Yeah, right. Yes. Very inspirational. Yeah.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs. Let's go.
It's all about entrepreneurship.
Yeah, very famous people, some of them.
Yeah. You didn't put our own photos.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Still have space. Still some space.
Yeah.
GBC. Let's go.
Hi, my name is Mars. Today we have GBC Live by the presence of Peter Bachmann from SwissCham. He's the head of SwissCham in Shanghai. Peter is with us today. And let me give a brief introduction about Peter. Peter is Executive Director of Swiss-Chinese Chamber of Commerce in Shanghai. He's leading a multicultural team of 6 and is the point of contact for companies interested in Sino-Swiss business activities. And this SwissCham has 600 members in China, and all are good members of startups, entrepreneurs, middle-sized and big-sized companies, and most of them are in Shanghai. Prior to assuming the position at SwissCham in 2014, Peter was involved in 2 startups in Shanghai and Hong Kong and built up the marketing and communication division of the CBC group in Shanghai. Peter, thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate for your time.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So, as our topic in in the flyer that we had, so we put it for our fans and viewers, that is all about chambers of commerce. So, what chambers of commerce they do generally? I mean, what is their role?
Well, it's a platform basically and a network at the same time. And it's a trusted source of information. Because in a city like Shanghai, if you go to a certain company or if you go to know some people, it's a big place. So we think we are a trusted source, and our network and platform can help companies as well as individuals to make life easier. Yeah.
Nice. So you mentioned that chambers of commerce are platform and our network.
Right.
Yeah. What is it? The network? Is it companies or individuals? How is it? I mean, if it is companies, which companies are the members of your chamber?
Yes, the network is indeed very diverse. We have multinational companies, the big ones from Switzerland that people probably would know, like the UBS, the Credit Suisse, Schindler or ABB. All these multinational companies that have been to China for many years. Then we have quite a big number of SMEs, which are to a certain extent very big as well. And then we have smaller companies and also startups that have joined us recently in the last maybe 5 to 10 years. And so it's a diverse, basically, network that we can offer.
Good. This is so awesome. I mean, like UBS, ABB, Schindler, and Swiss Credit as well. I heard that there is a part of SwissCham, yeah?
Credit Suisse.
I mean,
yes,
Credit Suisse,
right,
yeah,
yes.
yeah, it's cool. So as our topic is chambers of commerce and entrepreneurs, we want to see that how we can help entrepreneurs through chamber of commerce. Yeah, especially through SwissCham, which they have been doing a great job and they're so active. And in Shanghai, so they've been supported, especially for GBC, that they have done a lot of support last time for us. Thank you so much. So
You're welcome.
So the network is all about companies. That he mentioned that what kind of companies there are. And recently, startups and some small companies they joined SwissCham. Yeah.
Right.
So what do you mean by platform? What about platform? What is it platform? That you're talking about?
Yes, I mean the platform is can be used from a chamber. Basically, a chamber platform can be used to promote the company, to promote your services, to promote your products among our network. So this could be, for example, by becoming a member of our chamber, you could use our website, our newsletters, our WeChat, our email announcements to promote your company. Because in China, we know it's all about business, Shanghai especially, so we are aware that our members, most of the cases, of course, they are interested in our platform to promote themselves. And we are very happy to help in this case.
So your platform that you're talking about is all about WeChat platform, website, magazine, newsletter, and membership program.
Right.
All this platform you think that help all those companies which they are the member of SwissCham. Yeah. What we're going to talk here is all about entrepreneurs and the startups, and we want to see that how we can have the better facilities, better support from chambers of commerce, but especially SwissCham. So we want to know that how is it? Is it difference between the membership fee which startups or let's say small companies pay, and then those big and giant companies? Is there any difference?
Yes, we offer a special membership for startups, which is 3,000 RMB per year, or for a 12-month period. Smaller companies pay less than multinational companies, so they will pay 4,000. Multinational companies pay 7,000. We don't think it's a lot of money for what you get. Maybe Switzerland used to be, or is still actually quite famous for being maybe not that cheap. It's more an expensive place, but we think if it comes to our membership, it's quite a good deal. And we want to make it attractive for startups especially, because we know what they probably don't have to spend too much on is memberships and marketing expenses. So we try really to be attractive to them.
So you mean 3,000 for a startup? I mean for a company. I just want to see that. Okay. Because I'm sitting here on behalf of the startups and entrepreneurs. I want to see that how much discount we can get if we get a member of SwissCham. Yeah, but 3,000. You want to say that 3,000 is a fair price? It means that if the startups they want to spend this money for another channel, a promotion channel, or for anything that can help the startups to grow their company, if they pay 3,000 to you, it might have a value of like 30,000 RMB services. Is it like that, or it's going to be close to 20,000?
It could be, certainly, because we know of cases that we had companies using our platform and they got then clients out of it. They could do business, and so and that's basically one of our aim, one of our goals, to help companies that are a member. It's a different story if somebody decides to use us, but is not a member. Then of course we cannot offer the same services. But we believe we should help members, and by offering our platform, and if these companies then have additional business, additional income, and publicity, then I think then we have achieved our goal.
Okay, cool. Let's say SwissCham or any chamber of commerce. What I was studying about, chambers of commerce is this, that they have like information resources, they have like access to some governmental organization, they have access to a good and a big vast network of companies, medium size, high medium size, and so on. also they have access to even universities that all these resources are available for chambers of commerces. I just want to go one by one through that. I mean, if you want to talk about based on network, say that, okay, SwissCham has a big vast network of companies and so on, how this network can help entrepreneurs, how this network can help startups, how they can use this network.
Right.
Do you think if entrepreneurs, they join SwissCham, I mean a startup, they can have a really good, how we say, value, or they can have a good privilege to be in?
Yes, I think that's one of the advantages being actually a member of a chamber, is that we have a network that can be used. So let's say you're a startup and you need legal advice because doing business in China might be still, not the easiest place to be in. So you need legal advice from a professional, and so that's how we can help. We don't provide the service ourselves, but we have a list of member companies that are professionals in let's say in legal issues, and so they can provide support in a sense. The same goes for HR, which is a huge topic as well. So you need to know how you can hire people, how you can, best practice, how to keep them, to motivate them, but also you should know how to get rid of them if it's really necessary. And so we have companies that really can help.
So you think that networking in SwissCham, if and the startups join to SwissCham, so they can have a good network, and they can have a good recommendation from you, that they can get connected to other companies, that they can run their business, yes?
Yes.
So that's a privilege they can have.
Yes, exactly. It's all about trust at the end.
Yeah.
I mean, we know our members very well, and we recommend companies that we know. So we think we can recommend basically companies that will provide a service that is of use.
Nice. Another thing that I see, for example, if some companies, they go to some governmental organizations, and they might not have access to some special information that can be a good facility for the startups. I mean, based on information, so startups, they can have access to those information that SwissCham has, yes? How you can help startups based on information, that they can have access to some information that can be really useful for them?
Yes. In such a case, we have information available inside the chamber, in our office, or we can use our network. So, for example, in the Swiss case, if we have, let's say, a startup from Switzerland that would like to come to Shanghai or is already present, we not only have the chamber, but we have other organizations that are helpful. We talk about Swiss Next, for example, in charge of technology, science, education. We have a Swiss Business Hub, which helps companies, big or small, to enter to make a decision whether to come to China or not. And we have the Swiss Center, which offers office-in-office solutions, for example. So this is a network that we offer as long as the company is a part of it. And I think then a company can decide what they need and can basically ask for any service.
What about some information? Because I know that sometimes the government is, facilitating or giving some, financial support, but most of the startups, they don't know that. They are not aware of that, especially those startups which they are not Chinese. I mean, the founder is not Chinese, the team is international, they don't have that much access to those information, or they don't have that much access to those channels which they can grab better facilities and some opportunities that government is, bringing up for them. But maybe the Chinese startups, they can have, good communication, or there are some communication channels they can, get those facilities.
Right.
What do you think if SwissCham can be a good reach, can be a good connection, and can be a good channel for those who wants to get in China or in Shanghai to have their own company or to have their startup? How's it? Has SwissCham done that?
Not so much yet, actually, but it's a great idea. It also has to do with the setup of the financial industry, maybe in China. We know there are big and quite large Swiss banks like UBS or Credit Suisse in the mainland, and some in Hong Kong. However, these banks usually do not maybe focus so much on startups, but more on the very high net worth individuals, for example, or on corporate banking. But of course, from our point of view, it would be very interesting to set up such a support platform and bring all these players together, because it doesn't hurt. And if there is not much information available for foreign companies and foreign startups, then that's something we could do.
Perfect. So you're talking about that some big banks, which they go only for like big project, or they go just give facilities to big companies. Yeah. Do you think that SwissCham can negotiate with some banks that they just support the small businesses and the startups and entrepreneurs? Because what is missing for entrepreneurs is the money. If entrepreneurs, they can have a good resource of money, so they might bring a good change. And most of startups, they go down and they go failure because of lack of budget and lack of cash flow, lack of money, which is all about investment. Do you think, based on investment perspective, SwissCham has any plan for this issue?
Yes, maybe less so much with banks, but that's one thing we could certainly try. Another one is that we would establish connections to venture capitalists that are interested in funding and supporting foreign companies. That's certainly something we could do. It hasn't been done so far, but we are very happy, to look into this.
So you mean a VCs fund or angel funds, all this thing that... Well, that's a good idea. If GBC and SwissCham, they can have a community of VCs and angel investors, and also bringing like some big banks in to be part of that community, which they can support this community, would be awesome, would be perfect.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. So let's go back to information part. I mean, I think sometimes it needs bargaining needs to be done. I mean, SwissCham can go and bargain with the local government, like Shanghai government, that give better facilities to like those new startups, those new companies as a startup that they come here. So do you think that you can go to some local governmental organization who are related to innovation or entrepreneurial companies and so on? Do you think that you can go and negotiate with them, or
probably we would leave that to maybe the Business Hub, one of our affiliates. Let's put it this way. But what we have a strong network with is governmental agencies such as development zones, industrial parks in Shanghai, around Shanghai. These might be not so much of interest to startups, because this is more for established companies. But we have these connections, and then we could, for example, sit together with the Business Hub, which has connections to the local government in Shanghai to set it up. Why not?
So it means that you are willing to go to government and talk about those small sizes or startups, yes?
Yes, we certainly could do that with the Business Hub. Yeah.
What about to be a sort of bridge? I mean, let's say SwissCham could be a bridge for those companies which they are out of China and they want to get in China, but they have no idea how to start their business. I'm not talking about export and import companies. I'm not talking about trading companies. I'm talking about those companies which they want to start their company here as a producer of any product. Yes. So how would it be? Can you be a kind of bridge and channel for non-Chinese company getting in Shanghai, or for a Chinese company which they want to go to Europe's market and they want to start from Switzerland? How is it? Can you do that, or do you give this?
Yeah, we could help with our network. So if we have Swiss companies, or European basically, but mostly they're Swiss companies, that then the Business Hub and SwissCham is taken care of and support. So this is certainly is already being done for many years and will be done in the future. Maybe we could even work more closely together with the Business Hub. That would be basically the best idea probably to go forward, because we have in the Swiss community we have a lot of organizations. We have the Business Hub, we have SwissNext, we have Swiss Center, we have SwissCham. It's quite confusing. So that's why, but I think if people know where to go, and even if they don't know where to go, if they ask one of these organizations what they want to have solved, what the problem is, I'm sure one of these can help. And in such a case, then the Business Hub would be the right solution.
So it doesn't matter if they get into you, you can lead them to all these centers and hubs.
Right,
yeah?
exactly.
Like Swiss Business Hub, Swiss Center, SwissNext.
Yes.
Yeah, and SwissCham, and I think that the SwissCham is the most active one actually, as we have seen. So let's go for the problem of startups. Startups, as they are looking for investment and money, also they're looking for good team members. I mean, if imagine there's a founder and they're looking for some good team members or co-founders or a business partner that they want to start with them, or they want to just develop their business by those people to be in their team. How you can help startups in that way?
Yeah, it's very important that they get professional support. We don't offer this kind of services, but we know companies that can help.
Yeah.
And that's what we would do. So let's say we have an inquiry from a startup, say, look, we need to hire 5 people. Plus, an accountant and a salesperson, for example. Then we would connect them to companies that could help in our membership, basically in our network. And we think that's the best way.
Do you have other ways? For example, if any startup company, they give you a job description, do you publish?
Yes, job descriptions as well. As long as they are a member. It's free for them to send us the job description. We put that on our website, we put it on WeChat, we put it in our newsletter. So if people really want to hire someone, they can feel free to send us the job description. And it's free of charge, yes.
Do you have any special, for example, the membership fee? Yeah, you have membership fee. Do you have any, or have you done any event which is related to startups? Or you have a plan to do that? Well, at least one of the plans is we're going to do that for VCs and angel investors with SwissCham. Have you had any other events for startup entrepreneurs in SwissCham?
We organized events in which startups contributed to. For example, food. We have startups that we know quite well in the food industry, even IT, or some do even corporate gifts. And then what we do is we try to consider them. Let's say we organize an event, and we have about 60 events per year. So we consider them to be part of one of these events and give them exposure at the same time.
Are you connected to universities? Because most of talented people that they can't get into startups because they have dreams, they have ideas and so on. Do you think that, do you have any connection with universities? Are you connected with them or communicating and interacting with them?
We have a network of universities here in Shanghai and one in Switzerland. Some of universities and schools, they're a member, like CIBS or Harvard Business School, they're a member here in Shanghai. So we have some Swiss universities that are a member here in Shanghai. When it's about making the connections between these universities, we would use probably the network of SwissNext, because they are specialized in science, technology, and education, and also there basically we can help, of course. Yes.
So perfect. So let's go based on the networking. I mean, as you know, that Guanxi, it really works in China. So, or let's say that it's a sort of networking. Have you had any startups that have been successful, that SwissCham helped them, or have you had any of those startups in your community?
Yes, I mean the thing is about startups. We have several members that came to China in the 1990s. So more than 20 years ago, 20 years ago, and they were startups at that time, right? They started with 1 or 2 people, and today, of course, they established companies. But at that time, they were startups, and
so you have helped them.
And the SwissCham was at that time. I was told I wasn't here at that time, but I was told that this was SwissCham can play an important part because imagine how it was 20 years ago in Shanghai or any other city in China. It was much more difficult than today. So you were even relying on such a network even more. But it's maybe not that much easier today because it's more complicated, because you have more people. You have 24 million people in the city. So go and find somebody you can trust and you can do business with. So it's always good to have a recommendation, of course, and a network you can be part of.
Can you help, these startup or entrepreneurs based on market research or information in the market that sometimes it happens that some entrepreneurs, they choose a kind of product that might not be suitable for that market. But imagine before they start and they come to you and they talk to you or they talk to other members in SwissCham, they might change their ideas or they might rethink about their products, So what do you think? I mean, do you help them based on market research or do you have information? Do you have any?
Exactly. What we can do 2 things. We can make them aware that it's very important. We recently had a company coming to our office from Switzerland. It was a startup as well, actually. And they wanted to find out if there is a market for their product. And they wanted to look for potential investment from China and so on. Of course, what they didn't really know at that time is that they have to make sure they're safe on the legal side. If they come to China, they even have to make sure their laptops are secured. If you go to potential investors, you have to make sure your laptops are secured. So one thing, right? So and so on. So we can help with this a little bit, consulting in-house, let's say, of course, free of charge. And at the same time, the second part is we can connect them to professional companies. Let's say you need market research. Okay, we have a list of members that can help you with market research services, and that's what we can do.
So do they get discount if they go to your members? For example, if company BVC or ABC, they go to your member and they want any service without being a member of SwissCham, would they get the price of, I don't know, let's say $10,000? But if they're your member, if they would go, then they might be charged like $7,000. Is it like this? Do you bargain for startups? You know what? These startups, we don't have money, so we need some support. So we need really have a better price, better support, not only from governments, should be a culture from every single, service providers in the city or in the area which that startup has its activity. This is kind of B2B. It's support of B2B. So if this kind of support is available, for entrepreneurs, it's sort of really a good feeling. For a startup, it's really a good feeling to see that they're being supported by other businesses.
Right.
So
in our case, we cannot offer a fixed discount. What we have 2 things. We have the member benefit program, and let's say this company is a member, needs a service which is in this member benefit program. Then of course this company will enjoy the discounted rate, for example, right? For example, you want to fly with Swiss Airlines, or you want to book a certain hotel for your business meetings, and this hotel has a deal with SwissCham, then of course you get the better rate. And at the same time, we help startups. We cannot help them to get a lower rate, but we can tell these service providers that this is a startup. They have this kind of inquiry. Can you please help? Right. Then the price will be decided between those 2 parties.
The one question is come up for me that if any company or any startup wants to be a part of SwissCham, should they be from, I don't know, the shareholders or one of shareholders or the founder or co-founder? Should it be Swiss?
And we have Europeans, we have some from the UK, from Germany, from France. And so we are quite open for this. The only difference is if you are a Swiss company, you have voting rights at the General Assembly, and if you're not a Swiss company, you have no voting rights. But that's the case once a year, and that's the biggest difference basically. Otherwise, we treat everyone the same.
Nice, perfect. So good. That is perfect. That if any company that if they're from anywhere. So as long as they have a Chinese business license, they can be a part of SwissCham, and they can enjoy from your services and so on.
Right.
Perfect and beautiful. At the end, if you have any awesome message or that you want to tell to our entrepreneurs in Shanghai or in China,
right?
What would be and what kind of message you have for them?
Well, keep trying and go for it. I mean, Shanghai and especially China still is the place to be for many things.
Yeah.
Important is you rely on the right people. Still today, there is so much written about doing business in China, but still today you find companies, very established ones, that make very easy mistakes, which will cost them very dearly eventually. So if you're an entrepreneur, you make sure you meet the right people, you have the right partners and the right network.
Nice, perfect. Thank you so much for your time, for your presence here, Peter Bachmann. Thank you.
Thank you,
Mars. SwissCham.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate. I should thank all team members here. Really appreciate, and also I should thank all the viewers that they watched us online and you are watching us online, and I hope that for the next one, which is we have another friends here, Howard Weissen from the head of China branch from Dever company, head of China branch. He's going to be our guest next week, same time, same date, same time actually. So hope that we can deliver better content, better things with awesome friends from Shanghai, actually, SwissCham Shanghai, and from anywhere that we can bring people, so can help the community of entrepreneurs, the startup, would be great. Yeah, thank you so much, and have a great evening.
You too. Thank you very much.
So now we can be a bit casual. Yeah. Thank you.